Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a hypnosis session that was created for a client that was already doing pretty well in their career. They had quite a high-end job, but they wanted to go beyond what was now becoming comfortable for them. It wasn't giving them the level of challenge or opportunity that they were looking for. But to move out of that role into a different environment was intimidating. There was high expectations, high standards, and that was daunting for them. And they were doing some of the prep, but there was still a feeling of doubt or insecurity as to whether or not they were ready. And that's really what this hypnosis session is all about. It's a manifestation law of attraction, but with huge elements of realism and a pragmatic approach. You can't just manifest an amazing job by thinking about it. You would need to practice, prepare, apply, have certain skills. And there was a movie around about 25 years ago called The Secret. And it was based on a book from Rhonda Byrne, and the book and the documentary style of movie became very popular. And my other podcast called Modern Mindset, the very first episode is with John DeMartini. He was one of the people featured in The Secret, and I've interviewed many other people that were in that law of attraction. And he emphasized that the movie doesn't emphasize enough the action element of the law of attraction. That yes, you can believe that you have the ability to manifest something. You can have that kind of optimal emotional state. You can have absolute clarity, but you've got to back it up and do something. And that's really what this hypnosis session is all about. It's feeling empowered, prepared, confident, but also rewards action of doing the things that increase the probability. And a lot of people look at law of attraction as kind of you desire it and then it just lands on your lap. And look, there is enough people in the world that you're going to find some people that have evidence of that's true. They just have really good fortune. But I think for most people, law of attraction works when you've got absolute clarity as to what you want, and then you do the kind of things that increase the probability of doing that. But the belief system and the resources and just how your neurology is wired creates these self-fulfilling prophecies to increase the probability of doing that. There's a great scene of Jim Carrey on Oprah talking about how he manifested himself as a movie star. He wrote himself this $10 million check for acting, fees in advance. And that was, I think, the amount he got for Dumb and Dumber 2. He got $10 million for one movie. And that's often seen as kind of evidence of the law of attraction. But here's the thing. Jim Carrey is a very, very talented guy and a very, very hardworking guy. He didn't write that check to himself in Hollywood and not go to any auditions and not work on his material and, not work on his skills. He did both. He was very clear on what he wanted, but he also did certain things. And I think that's the optimal way to make manifesting and law of attraction really work, is to have the clarity, have the belief systems, have those wonderful feelings of expectation, but then do the things that help it along. This was created for an individual. Some of the references won't quite relate to you because it was customized for them. But you might still get some value from it. But if you do want something entirely customized for you, maybe you're looking for a promotion, or you want to venture out on your own for your own business rather than being an employee, and you want to have some additional, let's say, resources or something to boost you on that journey, there will be a link in the show notes where you can schedule a completely free consultation call to explore working with me. For now, though, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in, and on the outward breath, allow your eyelids to close. And as they close, start to calibrate with your breathing, with your muscle tension. Just evaluate how deep each breath is becoming, where you feel tension in your body, and just allow yourself to explore how much better it would feel if, when you breathe in a feeling of calm, confidence, and as you exhale, you feel that you're releasing tension, feeling how good it would feel for that tension to be slowly and incrementally leaving your body in your outward breath. And I want you to think of a color that represents confidence, not arrogance, not blagging. The kind of confidence that is a reflection of competence. The kind of confidence you get when you've learned things, done things, that you just know you have every right to be confident. And maybe that color is a bright color. Imagine breathing in that confident color. Breathing in confidence, and as you exhale, feeling like doubt or insecurity is leaving your body. And imagine that looks like grey shadows. Breathing in that bright color of confidence and exhaling doubts and insecurities. Isn't that what feeling like an imposter or not quite ready is? Just an insecurity. Just doubts as to whether or not you're there yet. And the deeper you breathe, the more of that calm confidence you're breathing in. And the longer you exhale, the more doubts are leaving your body. And don't be surprised if your posture, body language, your facial expressions start to become more confident with each breath. And these aren't obvious things. These are subtle tells someone with more confidence might have their shoulders just a bit more relaxed. Might just be breathing a bit more deeply. Might have their chin raised just a millimeter higher. Subtle clues that just project a feeling of confidence to the outside world, but more importantly, to your inner world. Your imagination already knows what an insecure person looks like. The facial expressions and body language of someone filled with doubt. But your imagination also knows what someone would look like if they oozed confidence. Not fake confidence, real confidence. And whatever that color of confidence is, introduce a new color that represents pure distilled relaxation. Continue to breathe in the color of confidence, but then add that color of distilled relaxation. And maybe the two colors are swirling like a spiral. Or maybe they've blended together to create a new color. But just imagine breathing in confidence and distilled relaxation. And now as you exhale, it's not just doubts that are leaving your body, but also any tension, any stress, any worries. And you could think of this as awakening powerful resources within you and letting go of anything that has been holding you back. A bit of hesitation and preparation is useful. You get to mentally and psychologically get ready for something that feels outside of what's comfortable. But too much waiting, too much hesitation, too much preparation can easily be interpreted that you're not capable, when that's not true. I want you to get a sense that you already have a strong foundation. The deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you become. And the more relaxed you become, the deeper you breathe. As your body relaxes, your imagination awakens. And I want you to imagine seeing an old photo of you when you were studying. See a photo of you in a library, of you in a booth. See yourself in that booth looking into a laptop. And you can see a certain level of confidence and optimism in that version of you. And I want you to imagine stepping into the photo, being in that same library, seeing you at a younger age, in a state of focused concentration, while also with high levels of confidence and optimism. And I want you to mimic that other version of you. Breathe the way they're breathing. Shift your posture so it matches that confident, optimistic version of you. Even mimic their facial expressions. Get to feel how they feel, and then step into that version of you. Feel that you are now you at a younger age, while simultaneously knowing everything that you've done in your career so far. And you couldn't have known that was possible when you were younger. And yet, you were enthusiastic, optimistic, and confident anyway. Some people call this confidence, some people call it faith. But most of the time it just comes from a belief that you are destined for wonderful things. And if that was true then it's also true now. But imagine being on that chair, in that cubicle, in that library, staring into a screen. But I want you to imagine on that screen is not a document or a spreadsheet. I want you to see a fully formed shape, a three-dimensional shape, maybe a cube or a pyramid, rotating there on that screen in the laptop. And just lock your attention onto that rotating three-dimensional shape. Just feel that concentrated focus is enabling you to go inwards, to go to a part of your mind where beliefs change easily, where powerful resources become awakened, that wonderful things start to happen. As you imagine staring into that shape, allow a part of your mind to awaken. A part that deep down knows that you are destined for great things. As that part awakens, you realize that every breath you take now fuels a deeper certainty that you are ready for more. More responsibility, more impact, more opportunity. I want you to imagine you're now in a room inside your mind. That room could even be inside this rotating shape. But you're now in the room. Imagine taking steps forward in this room. And with every step forward, you feel a powerful surge of self-belief. Not thinking or believing, but knowing that your next role is not just possible, it's inevitable. You've already earned the right to apply for roles that challenge and stretch you. You can think of the comfort zone like an animal in the zoo. It's safe, it's secure, they're well fed, and they have good health care. But magnificent animals weren't made for the zoo. They weren't made for comfort. They were made for the wilderness, where the stakes are higher, the risks greater. It's not easy, but there are more opportunities, more freedom. You don't want to feel safe and complacent. You want to feel invigorated, challenged and stretched. And that's because you know you are capable of more. Because if you weren't capable of more, then the idea would not appeal to you. And yet it does appeal to you. You have become exactly the kind of person that those roles are looking for. They need your skills. They need your drive, your ambition. They don't just want you. They need you. So feel that you are now magnetizing your ideal role with clarity, energy, and intention. The right roles are being drawn to your vision like iron to a magnet. And maybe in this room there's a screen. Be a cinema screen there in that room. And I want you to see yourself already succeeding in your next role. You might not know the company or the time, but you know the kinds of responsibilities. And see yourself looking calm, confident, completely in your element and thriving. See yourself with a new lease of life as you adopt a mindset of you either win or learn. Every role you apply for either gets you the role or gives you specific feedback or reconnaissance to increase the probability that the next role you apply for is more likely. Every action you take compounds your growth, learning upon learning upon learning. Your growth is compounding. Your confidence is compounding. Your capability and self-belief is compounding. I want you to consider yourself at the point of an S-curve where slow growth becomes exponential growth. But a goldfish can only grow as big as its bowl. And the same goldfish that is moved from a bowl to a lake becomes bigger and more capable because the environment is different. So imagine yourself in that new environment where it feels like going from a bowl to a lake, or a cage in a zoo to the wilderness, and yet you thrive in this new environment. Your future is always being shaped by the actions you take today. Right now, you are choosing to take action because progress feels powerful. You are ready. And you are now the kind of person who prepares thoroughly, acts decisively, and speaks with conviction. Because your value is undeniable. And perhaps you see the process of applying, preparing, and interviewing as a game, as an opportunity to showcase the greatness already within you, and even more that you have to offer. And if getting that role is a game, doesn't it make sense to play that game more? Think of a board game like Monopoly. If you never played that game before, the very first time you tried, you wouldn't be very good because you don't know the strategy, the rules, the distinctions. And yet the more you play, the better you get. As you start to consider your advancement in your career like a game, things that you can do to increase your chances of winning. And the very moment you imagine a future version of you thriving in your ideal role, something inside you clicks, almost like it's already yours. Imagine feeling completely at home in high-performance environments, because growth, challenge, and dynamism brings out your best. And the more action you take, the more aligned your reality becomes with your vision. This is the law of attraction in motion. The law of attraction requires action. And there is a quiet, unshakable part of you that knows that if you do the right things consistently, then success is just a matter of time. That your energy broadcasts clarity, confidence, and ambition. People sense it. You sense it in others, and they'll sense it in you. And because of that, opportunities flow toward it. From this moment forward, every decision you make is aligned with the version of you who already lives the life you're manifesting. Some people believe that if you can believe something strong enough and be clear on that thing that you conceive, then you unlock the very resources required to achieve it, and allow that to happen within you now. That belief is becoming a rock-solid conviction, an absolute sense that things are naturally going your way. And you can feel a shift, a breakthrough, that you are awakening that part. That's right. wonder if you're able to focus on the process. You know what the outcome is. You know what the long-term outcome is. You know what that real dream role of yours is. You also know what the stepping stone role could be. These are outcomes. You can have the intention of the outcome while knowing that the outcome largely is outside of your direct control. But what you can control is the process. All the things that are within your ability to influence what you learn, what you practice, growing, applying, preparing. I want you to get a sense that a farmer can't complain if there's no harvest, if they didn't plant any seeds. And I wonder what seeds you could plant that guarantee the harvest of this ideal role. Things that will influence others people's perception of you. Things that will make you more desirable to them. Things that could shift a first impression. Things that ensure that an application or a cover letter increases the probability of a response. And maybe it's networking with new people. Maybe it's following up. Not just by email, but a follow-up message, perhaps on LinkedIn or something else. I want you to get a sense that there is so many things within your control that influence the process. And you reap what you sow. The more action you take, the more you exponentially increase the probability of the very outcome that you desire. You will feel a desire to be relentless, prolific, but not focused on the outcome, focused on the process. Maybe it's a certain number of applications you send out every day. A certain amount of preparation you do for an interview that hasn't been agreed yet. I want you to feel empowered that there are so many things you can do. And by doing those things, the outcome becomes inevitable. One day could be never. So adopt the belief that you are ready now. Not because everything is perfect, but because you've decided to rise to the challenge. Every business owner knows that when they create that business, they will encounter challenges they weren't expecting. They don't have to prepare for every challenge, just to have the belief that their resources meet the challenge when it arises. You are ready now. And each application you submit, each interview you prepare for, sharpens your focus and strengthens your readiness. You win or you learn. every application is reconnaissance until the right offer comes along. I want you to imagine how it would feel to move like someone who knows the future is unfolding in their favor, because it is. And as you visualize your success, imagine stepping into it. Step into that future ideal role and imagine how good it would feel to live it. Feel that high performance energy. Standards are high, but so are your capabilities. There is a new level of energy, a dynamic feeling of possibility and excitement. This is what it feels like for that caged animal to be out in the wild, their senses sharpened. The stakes are high, but so are the rewards. This is what you live for. And if you could imagine what it would feel like to already be in the role that you desire, let me know by nodding your head. And notice where you feel that in your body, and then amplify it. Allow that feeling to grow, to expand, to resonate and ripple to every cell in your body. I want you to get a sense that you're stepping into the future like it's the present. And in doing so, you will awaken future resources now in the present. Feel that you are distorting the space-time continuum to give you a sense of utter, unshakable belief that this future is inevitable. Unshakable self-belief. And with that belief, there is no space for insecurities and hesitation, just a relentless feeling of motivation and enthusiasm to start moving in this direction. And now that you've unlocked and unleashed these resources, I want you to imagine there is a door in this room. And as you leave the door, imagine sitting in a library, looking at a shape in a screen. Imagine closing that laptop and leaving that physical body of you in the past and feeling like you are now the future you in a photo of your past. Imagine stepping back in reverse out of the photo, so you are now holding the photo of you in the library, and then realize that that itself is just a thought, and that actually that is just an idea within an idea, a thought within a thought, a dream within a dream, and actually you are returning to the here and the now, fully in the present, listening to my voice now. So take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Start to connect and calibrate into the here and the now. That's right. As I will now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you, you will awaken feeling new levels of self-belief, a feeling of inevitability, sky-high levels of optimism, and a feeling that things are just going to go your way. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9:10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.